y'all, did you know right here locally there's a very historical spot nestled back in the woods right here in Preble County, Ohio, just west of Eaton, Ohio, off of Ohio 122 and Camden Road, sits Fort St. Clair. This fort was established in 1792 and holds historical significance for the American Indian War. Follow along as we go check out some historical sites here at the park. Let's go see some local history today. Also, make sure to follow us if you haven't already. Go check us out over on YouTube as well. If you're not subscribed, we do a lot of metal detecting and history recovery over there as well. Fort St. Clair was built in March 1792. This was a key supply and defensive position during the Northwest Indian War. This fort was built by the U.S. Army during that time, serving as a base for General Matt Anthony Wayne's forces before the decisive Battle of Fallen Timbers. This was a key location here, and again, this is located right here in Eaton, Ohio. One of the most notable events here at Fort St. Clair was a skirmish that took place back here in this field you see behind me, where 200 Miami warriors from a surrounding tribe of the fort attacked Kentucky militiamen right here in this field. These warriors were led by Chief Little Turtle, and the attack took place November 6, 1792. As a result of this attack, 6 Kentucky militia members lost their lives. The fallen soldiers were then buried underneath of the Whispering Oak, which is a historic tree that is close to the site, which is now a public park right here, again at Fort St. Clair, and we're going to be going and checking that out as well. And as you look to your right, you will see these signs here, which says the site of Fort's Stockade. This also has the directions to the burial site of the 6 American soldiers who were killed in the battle, November 6, 1792, Whispering Oak and Silent Witness to November 6, 1792. As we make our way here, you can see they have their historical marker for the fort's location, which is surrounded here by this wooden fence. We are going to make our way over here to go check out the site location of Fort St. Clair. This fort location was then abandoned in 1796 after the Indian War had concluded with the Treaty of Greenville. As we make our way over out of the fenced-in fort area, we're going to be walking over to the graves of the 6 Kentuckian militia members who lost their lives during that skirmish. Being local, believe it or not, and loving history like I do, I actually never took the time to even walk over here. But as you'll see, just came up to the Whispering Oak, which was a witness of that skirmish that took place. Get ready to let you guys check out what I just walked up on here. Here's the marker here, which marks the Whispering Oak. And unfortunately, the witness to the skirmish no longer stands. But can you imagine the stories it could have told and the history that it had seen? Physicians in the Indian Wars. It reads, pioneer physicians came into the wilderness that was to become Ohio in the 1790s to serve in the respective campaigns of General Josiah Armour, Arthur St. Clair, and Anthony Wayne in their struggle against the hostile Indians. Their philosophy of service was expressed by Dr. Joseph Strong, one of their number, and he wrote here at Fort St. Clair on August 22nd, 1793, "May the glowing virtues in each heart kindle a vessel flame in the soul which shall shine like the light of peace on the haggard faces of distress and illuminate the mysteries of human existence." In 1794, General Wayne defeated the Indians at Fallen Timbers, and a year later, the Treaty of Greenville brought peace to the frontier. On the back here of the physician's historical marker is the roster of the physicians in the Indian Wars. And here lie the 6 U.S. soldiers who lost their lives during that skirmish that took place November 6, 1792. John Williams, Isaac Jett, Joseph Clinton, Robert Bowling, Matthew English, Job Hale. In 1921, the first Preble County Historical Society was founded. They began to make plans to make Fort St. Clair a public park. A monument was then erected after the battle took place 130 years prior on the site of where the fort stood on November 6, 1922. In 1923, the state of Ohio, with help from the Preble County Historical Society, established Fort St. Clair as a state historical site, sitting on 77 acres. In 1933, an additional 12 acres were added here to Fort St. Clair. All of the historical sites lay just south of the wooded area that was established by the Historical Society. In 1992, the Ohio Historical Society deeded Fort St. Clair to Preble County, Ohio. Archaeological investigations continue here at Fort St. Clair to uncover more details on the fort and the people who lived here in the surrounding area. In modern day Fort St. Clair, you'll notice winding hiking trails perfect for a quiet walk. The park has several shelters that can be rented for parties and family gatherings, along with a playground for kids to enjoy. Frisbee golf players can be seen playing around a frisbee golf. A small creek runs through the park with a charming covered bridge, adding to its beautiful scenery. There are plenty of areas with grills for cooking out, and in the fall, the leaves make it a calm and colorful place to relax. Fort St. Clair isn't just a historical landmark, it's a peaceful spot to spend time outdoors. You just never know what kind of local history you're going to come upon, or what historical sites might be around your area. And as many of you know, it's up to our younger generations to keep the history alive. We hope you all enjoyed this video, and we will see you all on the next episode of Indiana Unearthed. Happy hunting, my friends. Catch you later.